Hi, my name is Dr. Howard Rogers. I'd like to welcome you to Backus Health Beat. And I want to talk to you today about sun exposure and sun protection. So we know from research that the vast majority, 99% of skin cancers, are caused by chronic sun exposure. That doesn't mean that skin cancer is caused by sun exposure this week or this year, but an accumulation of sun exposure since you're a small child. And we know that sun, particularly early on in life, can predispose you to skin cancers down the road. Therefore, it's very important not just to protect ourselves, but to protect our children. So there are a few myths out there about sun exposure and tanning. One of the big things that has been forwarded by the tanning industry is that there's such a thing as a safe tan. Actually, there is no such thing as a safe tan. Tanning is your body's way of trying to protect itself from DNA damage caused by sun exposure or lying in a sun tanning booth. We know that there's no such thing as a safe tan. One of the other myths that's out there is that we need sun exposure for vitamin D accumulation in our bodies, and that vitamin D levels are very important to health. Now, it is true that sun exposure can increase vitamin D levels in our body, but again, there is no such thing as a safe tan, and there are much better ways of getting vitamin D, particularly from foods that are high in vitamin D and supplements. So in terms of tips for protecting against sun exposure, the best way to do it is to not to go in the sun at all. But I don't want any of you to live in caves. I want you all to go outside and have a good time. So if you're going to go outside, protect your skin. The best way to do this really is to cover up. So shirts and pants, long sleeves, hats, sunglasses are all very important. And there's a lot of clothes out there that are specifically designed to be cool in the sun and to protect your skin. For those areas that you do want to expose, sunscreen is very important, and what you want to do is get a sunscreen that has broad spectrum protection. That means that it's protecting against all the types of ultraviolet exposure in the sun. A lot of people ask me about what number sunscreen we should use, and there's been a lot of reports in the lay press over the last few years that high numbers don't matter. Now that's actually untrue. When I go out there and play golf or go out with my kids, I use sunscreens that have as high a number as possible. It's been shown with typical use that a very high number sunscreen, say in excess of 50 or 60, protects significantly better than one that's 15 or 30. Another very critical point about wearing sunscreen is that you have to wear enough. The number on the sunscreen bottle, the 30, 60, 100, was actually calculated for using enough sunscreen that you can still see the sunscreen on your skin. If you're applying a dime worth of sunscreen to your whole body, you're only getting a very small fraction of the protection that's listed on the bottle. You need to use a lot, and every 2 hours you need to reapply, because the sun's rays actually inactivate the sunscreen on your skin and make it less effective over time. Another critical fact in protecting against sun exposure is wearing hats when you're outside. There's a very high number of skin cancers on scalps, particularly men's heads, because we don't have as much protection on top, foreheads, and ears. A baseball cap only protects the top of the head and the forehead. It does not protect the sides of the cheeks, chin, or the ears. And so it's actually critical to wear a wide brim hat or a baseball hat with very good sun protection on the exposed areas. So again, I really want everybody to enjoy the summer, get out there and do all those things that make your life happy. But remember, when you're out there, protect your skin. It's the only one you have, and I don't want to see you in my office to have to remove a whole bunch of skin cancers.